Tim Cook, from newspaper delivery man, errand boy to the peak of fame. Anyone who has any knowledge about technology has heard about the name Tim Cook, the current CEO of Apple. But only some seem to know that, in order to reach that position, Tim Cook has been working non-stop since he was a teenager. Cook was born into a middle-class family in Alabama, with his mother working at a pharmacy and his dad being a shipwright. His parents taught him about the value of money and vigilance from a young age. This was reflected when Tim Cook became a newspaper boy as soon as he could to support his family financially. Even though he was taking multiple part-time jobs at a time he was a teenager, he didn't wager his education over it. Tim Cook was still focused on studying in between time as a shift. His efforts soon resulted in a certificate at the University of Melbourne, paving way for his job at Compaq, one of the biggest computer manufacturers at his time. In 1988, Tim Cook received an offer to work at Apple from Steve Jobs, even if at that time Apple was on the verge of bankruptcy due to Steve Jobs' decade-long absence. But Cook knew that this is an offer of a lifetime. In his head, Cook knew that he had to work with this man, for that would mean the closest seat to witness Steve's vision. After more than 20 years of working together, Steve called Cook over to his residence at Palo Alto, California. The reason for this invitation was to announce Cook's promotion to CEO due to the decaying health of Steve Jobs. Upon receiving the title, Cook started to develop Apple with his own vision. He started expanding Apple into many new branches, preventing it from being limited to one market. Cook kept Apple on top while creating new services like Apple Pay and Apple Music. The AirPod and Apple Watch was also the result of Tim Cook's unique imprint on the development of Apple. To say Cook was a worthy successor is an understatement. He didn't only sustain Steve Jobs' Apple, he propelled it into new heights. As much of a genius Steve Jobs was, his Apple wasn't particularly known for being environmentally friendly. But Tim Cook has promised to turn Apple carbon neutral by 2030. Knowing the size of it, this was a very ambitious move. Even after all of his advancement, Cook hasn't once thought he was comparable to Steve Jobs. When someone told him he was the second Steve Jobs, he declined it and said there should only be one in history. He isn't anywhere remotely close. To add it off, a fun fact about the current CEO of Apple. In a recent podcast with Dua Lipa, Tim Cook said he was considering pursuing music when he was in college, as he was in a jazz band at the time.